The animal eye has evolved to fit the survival needs of their respective habitat. Good eyes for one animal may not be so good for another. In the animal kingdom, the ways of seeing the world are as varied as the number of species. Some animals see in black and white. Others are able to differentiate between hundreds of colors. And some have larger eyes that are positioned in different places on their face. With all of these variations, one thing is clear. In the animal kingdom, having the best eyesight can determine the survival of a species. All eyes work by the same principle, but depending on what an animal has to do to survive, there will be different adaptations. Watch the video until the end, and meet the creatures with the most powerful, sensitive, weird, and sophisticated eyes in the animal kingdom. Typically, predatory birds have an awesome long-distance vision. However, eagles are simply the best of the best. Eagles can see 8 times as far as the sharpest human eyes can. This means that an eagle can spot its prey from about 2 miles away. Eagles are also excellent with shifting focus. This means they can zoom in on an object effortlessly. What's more, is that eagle eyes can see a wider spectrum of colors than human eyes. We can tell the difference between blue and green, but eagles can capture the slightest difference between burgundy and wine. With this ability, they can see ultraviolet light and capture the slightest changes of coloration in their prey. Interestingly, these animals only have such sharp vision during the day. Examples of these animals whose sights are similar to the eagle are the falcon and the hawk. As the sight of the eagle weakens at sunset, the sight of the owl gets even sharper. Most birds have their eyes placed at an angle, but the eyes of the owl face forward directly. This means they can neither move nor roll their eyes like humans. However, they can move their necks all the way around, giving them a wider range of vision compared to humans. The owl has several rods in its eyes, which makes them very sensitive to light. What's more, is that their irises allow their eyes to take in much more light than the typical eyes can. They also have a reflective layer behind their retina. This layer makes light that has entered the owl's eye reflect into it again. Thus, it gets to absorb the light twice. This explains its unusually sharp night vision. Owls can also see during the day, but their sight is quite blurry and they are almost colorblind. Nevertheless, this animal made it to the list for its outstanding night vision. The chameleon's ability to rotate each eye independently of each other allows it to see at nearly every angle without moving its head. It can see 90 degrees vertically and 180 degrees horizontally, for a total field of vision of 342 degrees, nearly a full 360 degrees. The ability to see almost every square inch of its surroundings without having to move anything but its eyes allows the chameleon to hunt without scaring off its prey. These crayfish are known for their aggressiveness and unique weapons. They have a very sharp and powerful claw that can easily cut a human finger in half and break glass in an aquarium. Mantis crabs have the most complex eye in the animal kingdom. They distinguish 12 primary colors, 4 times more than humans, as well as different types of light polarization, that is, the direction in which the light wave oscillates. The light-sensitive cells of the eye rotate relative to the plane of polarization of light, perceiving almost the entire visible spectrum, from the ultraviolet to the infrared. Now we can only guess what the world looks like for this crustacean. The human retina has 3 types of cones that allow it to perceive color: blue, green, and red. In contrast, butterfly retinas do not contain cones. Rather, they have 6 or more photoreceptor classes with unique spectral capabilities. The bluebottle butterfly has at least 15 different types photoreceptors. While much is still to be learned about the complex vision of the butterfly, it is believed that many of these photoreceptors are used to detect very specific types of color stimuli, such as objects hidden in vegetation or fast-moving objects in the sky. Eyes of colossal squid can reach up to an eye-popping 30 centimeters in diameter, significantly larger than a regulation soccer ball, 22 centimeters, and 5 times larger than blue whale eyes. Why they have such gigantic eyes is still unknown, but it might help with detecting the faint glow of sperm whales, their only predator, as they disturb nearby light-producing organisms. Cockeyed squid, Histiotuthis species, have 1 small blue eye and 1 large and yellow bulging one, creating a bizarre silhouette. Scientists think the larger eye scans the water above the squid for prey silhouetted against the light, and the smaller eye searches the murky depths below. It is a small nocturnal primate native to the tropical forests of Southeast Asia. This is the only predatory primate in the world. It feeds on lizards, insects, and even birds. But its most interesting feature is its huge eyes, disproportionately large in relation to the entire body. If these proportions were applied to a person, then his eyes would be the size of grapefruits. The Tarsier has very sharp eyesight. It was even suggested that they could see ultraviolet light. Able to see above and below the waterline at the same time, the four-eyed fish has eyes that are split in half horizontally. Each half has its own pupil and retina, the light-sensitive layer of tissue, allowing them to function separately, so they can see below and above the water surface at the same time. The California purple sea urchin is so packed with photoreceptors on its surface that its body has been described as a single functional eye. Because nearly the entire sea urchin is sensitive to light, it can see in every direction. Researchers have suggested the sea urchin uses its spines to block out some of the light hitting it, to help focus the light for better vision. Thank you for being with us until the end. If you love the living world as much as we do, subscribe to the channel and learn more about nature and its inhabitants.